Galactic sentient broadcast. Target, planet Earth. Begin invasion in 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, invaders. My name is Scott. This is Book Invasion. Thanks for joining me. I feel like garbage today, but today we're going to be doing a tag video. This is the You Could Do Better tag. This was created by CJ over at CJ Reads. I had seen Joshana do it at her channel. Nobody really tagged me, but I'm going to jump in anyway. I really love graphic design and fonts and the way that those are kind of combined and used in cover art and graphic design and logos and things like that. It's always been an interest of mine, and I've explored different fonts when I've created websites for people and things like that. So I can kind of spy these things. Not that I have an eye for it. I'm definitely not a professional. But this tag was a chance for me to get real petty about the things that I like and dislike. You know, it's not saying anything about the book itself or the artist that created it or the publishers or whoever. This is really just personal preference, being really nitpicky about things on book covers that I like or don't like. It's all just subjective, so here we go. Let's dive into it. So prompt number 1 is Say It, Don't Spray It, a book with the most offensive use of type. And I grabbed a few off of my shelf that I really don't like. And number 1 pains me because it's one of my favorite books, Ready Player One. This is just a plain red background with a yellow text that looks kind of hideous, and they threw on this like Pac-Man font with a little hideous guy getting a key. It's minimal, it's okay, it's just is very loud and very, you know, don't spray it, obnoxious. The other one I have that's similar to that is another favorite of mine, which is Dark Matter. Again, just a plain colored background with black text, and they chopped the fonts up and just made it quite obnoxious to look at. You can definitely spot it from, you know, from the end caps. You can see it and spot it everywhere. Maybe that's what they're going for here. But it's very loud. The last one I have is another one which it pains me to say because it's a great book, is The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. Now, like, this book, you know, why? Whoa. Why? Like, if you compare this to the UK book cover, I think I'll throw that up here. And I mean, look how gorgeous that is compared to this. Like, is this some type of electric, you know, Nikola Tesla story about him making electricity or something like that? If you weren't familiar with Jeremy Robert Johnson, it's kind of a horror story about like a zombie upbringing and people getting trapped in this radio wave type of thing. So that's where the lightning bolts come from. But really, this cover, I really don't like it at all. It definitely stands out on the shelf, but like, come on. Like, why? Why is this? Why is this? Prompt number 2 is She's Serving Reese's Book Club, the cover with the most commercial book club energy. For this one, I picked The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, just because it's definitely the book club energy. It's got the gown and the lady, and the title of it's The Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Makes me think of just a bunch of these book club ladies gossiping about the husbands and the relationships and romantic relationships about Evelyn Hugo and all this stuff. And the story takes place with this famed actress who kind of sees her rise to fame, but then like she has secret turmoil inside that she can't reveal to the world because of all this other stuff. So that's definitely a book club energy type cover. The next prompt is Yes Girl, Give Us Nothing, a cover with seemingly no energy put into it. For this one, I also picked one of my favorite sci-fi humor books, which is The Sheriff of Yurnamir. I did a video review for this, and I mentioned this quite a bit because this cover is hideous and awful, and there was just nothing to it, and it really doesn't sell the book for as good as it is. And on the back, we have a smiley face with a blurb from Stephen Colbert that says, a science fiction book your grandmother will love if she's a lustful, violent lady. So this book is definitely a sci-fi humor book about some space antics and a reluctant hero story. In the spirit of Douglas Adams and Terry Pratchett, The Sheriff of Yurnamir is a sci-fi comedy at its best, mordant, ferociously funny, and thrilling page-turner. So I would recommend that you check this out if you can and get it on audio, probably from your library, possibly. But this isn't really a recommendation video. I'll do another video about humorous sci-fi books. But this cover, I don't like it at all, but the book is fantastic. Number 4, a face only a mother could love, a cover so hideous, but the book is so good you can't help but keep it around. For this one, I chose Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and I had this book. I think I maybe gotten rid of it, but I just don't know what this cover is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Is it a face? Is it a thing? I don't know what that yellow thing is over there, and like it's just awfully hideous for such a classic book. And I know it's been republished millions of times, but this cover, like, who did this? What is this? And I tried to Google like Brave New World cover design or cover analysis, like what is this supposed to be? So if anybody out there knows what this cover of Brave New World is supposed to be, maybe you can, like, Microsoft Paints and say this is a dots and this yellow thing is a bird, or I don't know. I just hate it. It's the most hideous book cover I've ever seen. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Such a classic book, but really, I'm glad they republished this millions of times and have different covers for it, because this one just didn't. I don't know whose motives, what the motive was behind this, to go through all the iterations of publishing a book and say, yeah, that's the cover, that's the one we want. Good job, Bob. Way to go. I don't get it. And for the last 2 prompts, I've combined them. Really, I have one answer for both. So number 5 is take one thing off before leaving the house, a cover that can use one less element. Number 6 is Hypebeast, a cover that is clearly going for all the trends at once. And for this one, I chose We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix, the paperback version. Now, the hardcover version is really awesome. So this is the hardcover version of it, which is awesome and epic. And it's kind of going for all that hype. But the paperback version here is just really, it's got all of, it's just completely pandering to all of the trends. Like, it's got the Rolling Stone font at the top. It's got this, goth rock chick on the front with a guitar and like chokers, and her fingernails are black, and it's got all these blurbs on it like it's a magazine headline about the band Coffin and Troglodyte, and like it's supposed to be a magazine cover. I get it, but Grady Hendrix also wrote, Horror Store, which this book cover is supposed to be for like an online store catalog, and on the back it's got all this stuff. But I think I think he really took it to the extreme with the paperback cover of We Sold Our Souls. Like, I would almost be embarrassed like getting this book and reading it in public, just because the cover is so corny and so cheesy, and it's got so many elements on it. Like, they threw in these blurbs that are supposed to be the articles in the book. They threw in stuff about the band name and Troglodyte and Coffin. It's like, if you haven't read the book, you don't know what these things on the cover are supposed to mean. So that stuff just clutters it all up and makes it a little bit too crowded. I understand the concept they're going for a magazine cover, but really, why? We'll just let the magazines be magazines and make a book cover be a book cover. So those were my answers for something that could use a little bit less elements on the cover, and one that's trying to just hit all the trends for capturing, like, oh sweet, it's in the horror section and it's got this chick on it, yeah, I want this book, like, what? Why? All right, anyway, that's my tag, and thanks for watching, everybody. I will tag some people probably in the comments down below, because I can't ever think of any good people to tag at the moment. So I will tag you in the comments, and check out the creator's channel and check out Deshaun's channel down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.